Japan's northernmost people, the Ainu, carry a story that is as ancient as the islands themselves, yet their identity was nearly erased. Their history is a warning about how an entire culture can be pushed to the edge of extinction, even after thousands of years of deep ancestral roots. A nation modernizes, a people disappear. In the late 1800s, as the Meiji government drove Japan toward rapid modernization, a new national identity was crafted, one centered almost entirely around the Yamato majority. Anyone who did not fit this uniform image, including the Ainu with their distinct language, appearance, and traditions, became an uncomfortable reminder of a past Japan wanted to replace. In 1899, the government passed a law called the Former Aborigine Protection Act. Despite its name, the goal was not protection. It was assimilation. Traditional tattoos, hunting rituals, and animist spiritual practices were outlawed. Ainu children were forbidden to speak their own language. People were forced into Japanese names, Japanese schools, and a completely foreign lifestyle. At the same time, Ainu lands across Hokkaido and the northern islands were seized. Settlers profited from the rich forests, fisheries, and farmland, while Ainu communities were pushed onto poor, infertile plots. Many faced disease, hunger, and social collapse, erasing a people from memory. The suppression ran much deeper than laws, it invaded memory itself. For decades, Japan's history books simply removed the Ainu from the narrative, promoting the idea of a single, homogeneous Japanese ethnicity. By the 20th century, many Ainu hid their ancestry to avoid discrimination. Their population shrank, their language nearly vanished, and their ancient culture stood on the verge of silence. Japan did not formally recognize the Ainu as an indigenous people until 2008, an acknowledgement that arrived far too late to undo the cultural damage. Tracing the Ainu back to Japan's first people. To understand who the Ainu truly are, we must travel far back, to the very first humans who settled Japan. Long before rice farmers arrived from mainland Asia, Japan was home to hunter-gatherers known as the Jōmon people, arriving around 14,000 BC. They created some of the world's earliest pottery, lived semi-sedentary lives, and thrived through fishing, hunting, and gathering. Many researchers see the Ainu as the closest living descendants of these ancient Jōmon populations. But the full picture is far more complex and fascinating. What DNA reveals? Modern genetic studies show strong continuity between Ainu DNA and that of ancient Jōmon remains. Y-DNA haplogroup D1b, rare, ancient, and found mainly in Tibet, the Andaman Islands, and among the Ainu. Mitochondrial DNA lineages such as N9b and M7a, also present in Jōmon skeletal remains. These lineages make the Ainu one of East Asia's most genetically distinct populations. However, they are not solely Jōmon in origin. Genetic markers show limited but real connections to ancient Siberian groups, especially the Okhotsk culture. These northern influences likely came through early trade and migration routes. Despite this, the Ainu preserved a genetic profile vastly different from mainstream Japanese people, whose ancestry is heavily shaped by the Yayoi migrants who arrived around 1000 BC. Microscope early scholars and misleading theories. When European scholars first encountered the Ainu in the 1800s, they were struck by their light skin, wavy hair, and heavy facial and body hair, features unusual in East Asia. Some, like missionary John Batchelor, speculated wildly about Caucasoid origins. These early theories were based almost entirely on appearance, not science. As anthropology and genetics advanced, the consensus shifted. The Ainu are a deep-rooted population tied to the ancient Jōmon, not to Europe. Survival through isolation. Hokkaido's rugged terrain played a vital role in preserving Ainu culture. While the rest of Japan absorbed waves of migration and cultural change, the northern islands remained relatively isolated. This allowed the Ainu to maintain traditions such as animistic spirituality, bear ceremonies, intricate oral storytelling, wood carving and textile arts. Their worldview centered on kamui, spiritual beings believed to inhabit animals, landscapes, and everyday objects. Microscope: the Yayoi arrival, a collision of worlds. When Yayoi farmers arrived from mainland Asia, bringing rice agriculture, metallurgy, and structured communities, Japan changed forever. In most regions, Jōmon groups mixed or were absorbed into Yayoi populations. But in the far north, some communities held out, preserving their ancient heritage. This divide created the foundations of modern Japan's dual ancestry, Yayoi influence dominating the main islands, and Jōmon lineages surviving most strongly among the Ainu. Microscope: a language with no known relatives. The Ainu language is one of the world's great linguistic mysteries. It is a language isolate, meaning it has no proven connection to Japanese, Korean, Ainu ***, or any other known language family. Its structure is polysynthetic, meaning complex ideas are packed into single words. It carries rich terms for natural phenomena, showing the deep relationship between the Ainu and their environment. But today, only a handful of fluent speakers remain. Without urgent revitalization, the language could vanish entirely. Microscope: genetic blending in later centuries. For many years, scholars believed that Japanese influence on Ainu DNA was minimal until large-scale settlement began in the 19th century. Recent genetic data challenges that idea. Central Hokkaido shows high frequencies of ancient Jōmon lineages. Southwestern Hokkaido shows stronger genetic mixing with mainland Japanese. This indicates that Ainu communities closer to Honshu interacted more with Japanese populations over time, while those farther north preserved a purer Jōmon signature. A spiritual world rooted in nature. Ainu spirituality was never confined to shrines or written scripture. Their belief system saw nature as alive with spiritual forces. Every river, tree, animal, and tool carried its own divine presence. The most sacred rituals honored these spirits, especially the revered bear kamui, a symbol of strength and prosperity. Even today, these traditions are powerful reminders of the Ainu relationship with land and life. Art as a lifeline to ancestry. Ainu craftsmanship is a direct link to their ancestors. Textiles made from tree bark fibers. Robes decorated with protective geometric patterns. Prayer sticks and carved tools used in rituals. Wood carvings that carry spiritual and cultural symbolism. These pieces are more than art, they are vessels of memory. A final warning. The Ainu survived colonization, discrimination, forced assimilation, and the near erasure of their identity. But survival is not the same as victory. A culture can still disappear quietly if its language, traditions, and stories fade from memory. The Ainu story is not only one of endurance, it is a reminder that even the oldest lineages on Earth can be lost if the world stops listening. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.